Oh, this is different. Let's see what happens. Oh God, stop it. Oh, where? Why won't you let me go live? You guys, if you're in, just give me a second. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Let's see here what's going on. It says that I'm live. I don't believe them though. I don't see anything in my chatola. In the chattery. Oh. What's going on here? There's a whole new workflow. I see myself in here. Okay, this is sucks. So how do I get to stand by, people? All right. Jeez. Wow. Okay. Just give me a second. We're in here. We are in here. How come every time I use Ableton Live, ATC Beat shows up? he's got the Ableton alarm. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. We gotta look at some things real quick. Okay, how we doing? Do I have the chat up on my screen? The chat is not up on my screen. How do I get? How do we get the chat up on the screen? I said, yeah, remove that. The chat came up. Where is it? Dude, OBS just decided that it wasn't gonna work inside of on my computer anymore. It just decided that it was gonna crash. Right? It just decided that it was gonna crash and it was gonna be terrible. So all right, bet. What's up, CMP? Hope you're good. Did you get a chance to check out the MPC sample syncing video? No, I did not. I did not. All right, so chats. Oh, look at that. Oh, because it does a little thing. It like rolls up as you guys bring it in. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, so I'm using Streamlabs OBS right now because the regular OBS just decided that it didn't want to work anymore. It was just like no, we're not doing that. So I don't know what happened. Like I would I went to add the chat to the stream. Like I was ready to stream like at 3:30, and I went in what's it called, like updated my OS, uninstalled and installed OBS like like three times, and it still keeps on crashing on the damn what's it called, crashing on start. Saf said I got rid of Streamlabs. Why'd you get rid of Streamlabs? I would like to be working on OBS. Like I'm comfortable on OBS. I don't get this, but whatever. We make things happen. You know, we get it to move. Was OBS locking my computer up? No. It wasn't doing all that. It was crashing on when I would open. So that's trash. Streamlabs is fuego. Stop the hate. Streamlabs is dope. It definitely it's I'm surprised I didn't know about this first. I mean, it's OBS. It's got some cool stuff. Like I could see all the people that subscribe to my YouTubes. Shout out to Chevy Cooks, Andrew Van Eaton, Baker, Raphael, Shelly J, and Carl Anthony, Steve Clark, and Ralph Williams. Those do not sound like real people. Maybe they are though. Maybe they are. Concrete Zebra used to do the shout outs. But yeah, no, Nate. It wasn't. OBS was freezing your computer up at around 3 o'clock today. That's nuts, bro. It definitely, because mine definitely stopped working at 3 o'clock today. So that's fun. But yeah, what did I have? Man, I had like, dude, I had like hot takes. I had things I wanted to talk about. I was lit. Oh man, I was excited to make beats, and now I'm just relieved to what's it called, to actually be live. It was kind of arduous. People hate on Streamlabs because they sold a landing page from another platform's website. Damn. What is this? I seen this tweet. This is in the this is in the, oh my god, this is back in the who should get paid what, being commentated on by a whole bunch of people who haven't made shit from music. It's fun. I like it. So check this out. What they say. They said, what is this? What is this tweet? It's a comment. It's people replying to. I forgot what the context of this was. I'm just gonna read it. Somebody's replying saying, "I feel like they don't deserve it. They should only get paid for their work and not. They do not do. Oh, this is. Oh, so this was interesting, right? Oh, it's all coming back to me. So while you got like you got like fucking dumbasses uh turning down turning down money because because they're young and stupid, right? I don't know how y'all were raised. My old man told me you make as much money as possible. You don't just turn down money when somebody wants to give it to you. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But so while producer world is having that whole moronic discussion, about who should be paid what. You got the other side where the rappers they wanted to join in, and the rapper take on this, because there's not just essentially there's in hip hop there's two parties that work on the song, right? You have the people who rap, and then you have the people who make the beat, and then at the super pro level of making music, that has always been like more than two parties, right? You would have ghostwriters writing for the rapper. You would have people working in the production process splitting up the splits, right? And so now that everybody has a voice and an opinion on Twitter, you got what's it called? Just funny conversations. This is one of them. Somebody's replying to how much should a producer get split? Because now we can upload our music independently, right? So a lot of people when they upload to DistroKid to get their 100,000 streams, that's gonna pay them $6 whole. They're worried about the splits naturally, right? So a lot of people what they do is when it comes to DistroKid, they'll split it 50-50 with the producer, right? But rappers that don't stream nothing, and I swear it's always the rappers that don't stream nothing, right? Independent rappers that don't stream nothing, they come out like this. They're like, I feel like they don't deserve the 50%. They should only get paid for the work, and not anything more than that. They don't do the work to make a hit song. Promotion does that. All a producer do is make something a rapper can get on. So they should only be paid one time by the rapper, right? So you've got these BeatStars customers, pretty much asserting like, hey, I paid you that $30 for the lease. You know what I mean? Like now that it's on DistroKid, like I don't want to split any of that with you. Which you could tell these opinions come from people who have never done any real business, right? Because you don't even need to qualify that. Um, Somebody else replied in the thread, "You heard it here first. Music doesn't make the hit song; the promo does." Somebody else writes in, they're like, "That's not always the case. Some songs do be catchy or have a hard beat that do it, especially on TikTok. The shit blows up because they can make dances to the beats. They don't make dances to the lyrics." So you got that one. And then this was this is my favorite sentiment, right? Somebody else writes in, they're like, "Bruh, as an artist, you pay for everything, promo, videos, everything. The producers be acting entitled to all your work after spending maybe 1 hour on the beat. It's not realistic, right?" So, I mean, it's Twitter. They're kids. They're just going off of how that they think the music industry is supposed to go. And hopefully, like, the good positive YouTubers out there who are super concerned about the kids and the future of the music industry, hopefully they do enough clickbaity titles so that the rappers can get a better understanding of how this business is beneficial to everybody, and how it doesn't make sense if everybody isn't making money. um what do you guys think about this? And Antitrust says, y'all seen Snoop owns Death Row now? I need the details on Snoop owning Death Row, because when I see when I see that, I'm seeing he owns the brand. I'm not seeing like Snoop owns the master recordings to the Chronic. Aldo says, if you're charging for your time, you lost. Boy Wonder, what's up, Boy Wonder? Do you think Ableton Live needs a MIDI slicing tool? No, I don't think Ableton Live needs a MIDI slicing tool. I'm 607 says, yeah, I think it's the rights to the merch and not necessarily the music publishing. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Dope either way. No, it's not really dope either way. No, it's not really dope either way. It's it's goofy without the records. You know what I mean? Because you're buying up this brand, that was no, it's not dope either way. It's not dope either way. It's not dope either way. And on the other thing, when the money's flowing, people don't argue about the money. Yes. Yes, exactly. That's my point. That's my point. 607 has such an awesome way of explaining things in such a simple way when I just want to cuss people out. That is 607's talent. He gets me. But that's really the long and short of it, is this discussion, and it's the discussion, it's not just with the rappers and the producers, it's the discussions with the loop makers and the rappers, right? Like you seen, like when money's coming, like when real money's coming in, you're not worried, you're not stressing over 40 or 50 or 30 or 50, right? You're not stressing over that because real money's coming in and you're getting paid to do what you love, right? When you're getting paid to do what you love, but when you're not making no money, when you're starving and you're in survival mode and you're just like on defense about everything, you're getting pulled over because you don't have the damn you didn't turn in your registration, so you're getting pulled over, and then paying that ticket messes up your money so that you couldn't get insurance, so you get your registration straight, but then you get pulled over again because you were speeding, and now you got tickets for your insurance, and then you got to go back to court, and then you fucked around and you smoked a J in the car, and you didn't think that anybody was going to notice, but you blew through the stop sign and you had to throw away, and now and you didn't get arrested, but you got an NTA, you know what I mean, which means your license is about to get suspended, and you start going through this vicious cycle, and then you hop on Twitter, because rap is what's going to save you from this shit, and you're like, no, everybody's taking from me, you producers won't take from me. You know what I mean? And that's how we wind up in this situation, because shit is real. Because shit is super real, bro. And Antitrust says Death Row was built on his back, though. I think it's dope that he could tap it on that. Yeah, I mean, I won't. If you're asking my opinion, I don't think that it's dope, but I could definitely appreciate that perspective. Damn, the Snoop get hoodwinked because it sounds like he doesn't know. No, obviously he knows. Obviously he knows. I haven't watched whatever you guys are watching, but I know that y'all have a tendency to project shit onto people, places, and events. You know what I mean? And you don't really be listening to what these people say. Yo, murder. If we see murder was the case on streaming platforms, that would be amazing. But like, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys like this, okay? If Snoop Doggy Dogg owned the masters to the chronic, he would be saying, I bought the masters to the chronic, right? he would not be saying, I bought Death Row. See 607 reads, 607 says, Snoop did not get hoodwinked. I gleaned my perspective from the wording of Snoop's statement about the acquisition. Yeah. Jayon Baby says, nah, if you're on a budget to make a project and you pay for the beat and everything else, why should the beat maker pay half? Jayon, because that's the music business, right? Just because you don't understand how the music business works and the producer does, doesn't mean that the producer has to follow your rules, right? Because that's not the way it works. Okay, so if you're fancying yourself as an independent artist, that means you are a record label. You're not just an artist. You're a record label now. You got to book your own shows. You got to do your own promo. You got to connect with radio. That's all your job. You know what else is your job? Using industry standard contracts for making music. And what the entire industry does is they take the publishing and they split it into two sections, right? Top line is 100%. The music is 100%. There's 200% of the publishing, right? But because that's so fucking confusing for everybody, we'll just call that 50-50. Okay? We'll just call that 50-50, right? So when you're a record label, you have to pay your musicians mechanical royalties and their publishing. That is theirs. Nobody gives that up just because you bought a fucking beat off of BeatStars. Not how it works. That's not how that works. And just because MC Peepaw only knows about like the prices on pints and not the prices on publishing, that's not Producer World's fault. You know what I mean? It's not Producer World's fault. 607 says, but CMP, answer me this. In a time where Kanye makes more from his clothes than his music, is Snoop having the ability to tentpole Death Row a good opportunity? Yeah. It's a good opportunity for nostalgia. Yeah, no. That's dope, man. I just listen. I see what you're saying. I'm not, and this is weird, right? This is a weird place for me to be because you're. This is not our normal roles. Normally, I'm the capitalist, and you're the heart. So so we're spun around. I'm just looking at it like, man, you know what I mean? Like, bro, what Suge and Harry O and Jimmy Iovine did to that fucking company, bro, like, just bury it. You know what I mean? You're Snoop Dogg. You got so much, you know, like, but I get what you're saying too. ATC Beat says, I've seen I've seen more music in the commercial space ever since artists sold their masters. ATC, artists did not sell their masters. Nobody sold their masters. You know why? Because they didn't own them. They didn't own them. I found out like when this shit about Joe Rogan and Neil Young hit, because I know you guys over there in Flat Earth world were like thinking that the reptilians were buying up all the masters so that they could poison our brain with satanic messages. But there were some gems dropped in the Neil Young deal because he sold you know his some of his catalog, what they call his catalog. When they report these stories, they never said masters, bro. You guys gotta read. they're talking about their catalog, right? And when it comes to what the artist owns in the catalog, it's their publishing. Okay. So Neil Young had like a share of his publishing, and what he sold to Hypnosis for whatever the 100 million that they gave him or whatever, it was only 15%. It was only 15% of his piece of the pie, right? So these guys aren't like doing crazy stuff where like they're giving away um everything. You know what I mean? I thought that was interesting that that came out because you know who's financing Hypnosis is fucking Blackstone. That's interesting. 607 says, I'm just asking. Snoop usually makes good moves, and this is a weird one, so I'm trying to give him and his team credit. No, but I think I think you're right, Six. I think it's exactly what you're talking about. You know, him being able, because like, okay, boom. So you look at like what's the most you look at like where we're at right now. Everything is 90s fashion, right? Like the girls are wearing bell bottoms again. You know what I mean? The boys are wearing the same shoes that the girls used to wear in the 90s. You know, everybody's wearing Balenciagas and shit like that. You know, back in 93 they were called Skechers, and you know, hoes used to wear them with Daisy Dukes. But who am I to judge? Who am I to judge, right? Just a just an old man screaming at a camera on a Thursday night. Right? But um so you know, if you get a chance to if you get Death Row, so say you don't get the catalog, right? But you get the images and the likenesses. So now he could do like he probably got Snoop Doggy Dogg back, right? Right? So he's probably got Snoop Doggy Dogg back. He could probably do like the album T-shirts and stuff like that. Ship those off to Forever One. I'm sorry, Forever 21. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, instead of doing like the cheapy versions that everybody has, he could then go and do like you're saying, right? Like, oh, okay, this is the $250 commemorative doggy style bomber that we're gonna, you know, that I'm gonna be wearing on stage at Super Bowl weekend, and I'm gonna do a limited run of, let's say, 2,500 of them. You know what I mean? We'll call it $500 a piece. You know, and just like run, like imagine being able to do like the Griselda hustle, but with Death Row. Yeah, no, I see it. I see it. Yeah, yeah, I see it. I see it. I just, you know, that's fuck, bro. It's a shame what happened to Death Row, bro. But I see I see what you mean now. Did we know how much he paid? No. No, we don't know how much he paid. You still want a tank chain? I'm pretty sure if you go down to Sunrise Boulevard, we can get you one at the swap shop. Do artists have to pay back advances and anything the label loans them before producers get and see money on the back end? I don't know how that works, bro. I just know that what from the producers that I have talked to that have been in the industry from the old times, like 90s producers, what they would say is like the biggest thing was the producer fee, because you were not seeing any pretty much anything on the back end, and that's why producer fees got so high. I mean, at one point, like, dude, Manny Fresh charged Puff Daddy $250,000 for the "Hope Y'all Sleep" beat on Biggie's Born Again album. That's why those producer fees got so high, because people were having a hard time getting paid on the back end. Which is why, like, you can tell like this whole discussion is being propagated by people who don't make no money. because because if they were actually like collecting money, they'd be like, "Oh, that's crazy. We're fighting about shit that ain't there." Why am I worried about this money that I'm not gonna have to pay you anyway because I'm not making it? Yo, Nerd Vision, I would love some exclusive MC Hammer pants. So Timberland never sold his masters. Yo, go back. First of all, you used to watch Spicy Sundays, and I sat there and told all you guys what was happening, and you fucking ignored me. You fucking ignored me. But if you actually go back and read the words, nobody sold their masters. Do you think Timberland owed his masters? Do you think Timberland owed his masters? Dude, owning your masters is rare, bro. It is rare. Timberland did not own his masters. Jayon says, "You lucky I'm driving." I don't know why. Don't text and drive, though. Do not text and drive. Do not text and drive. Please don't text and drive, bro. That'd be crazy if Jayon caused a 30 car pile up. Gotti does. Gotti definitely owns his masters. Yeah, no, nobody. Listen, nobody who sold to Hypnosis sold their masters. No, you thought that because that's what you wanted to think, but that's not what happened, Boy Wonder. He did not. He did not these headlines, bro. These guys are selling. These guys are selling 15% of it. What's up, Crossbeats? You guys never read the articles. You guys didn't do the deep dives. You just seen the headline and you were like, "Oh my god. Oh my god, Illuminati confirmed. They're buying up all the masters for what?" And I told you guys at the time, I was like, the reason why they are getting bought up before Metaverse was even a thing. I was like, I'm telling you, there's going to be bigger licensing opportunities for these songs. And the people who are buying them up know it. And they're overpaying. They're giving fair deals. And y'all were like, no, they're taking advantage of the artist. No, bro, they're making it so your favorite artist can retire, dude. Blackground Records owns Timberland's masters. There you go. There you go. Mm. So I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys something cool. Check this out. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Yo, if you guys, what's good, Touchtone? Is there such thing as a super producer anymore? Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think Frank Dukes is? So I didn't realize that I don't know why I never thought to do this, but you can name the scenes inside of session view in in live. So this is kind of like how I have my arranger set up, my arrange track set up on Studio One. I just kind of wrote myself some notes, just pretty much how to get like an easy way how to get 9 patterns out of working in the push, and I'll show you guys how easy it is. But I got my intro, verse, crazy 808, kick only, hat snare and perk going. Then I have a section for a new melody. Then I have this thing that's reminding me to modulate, either go up 5 or go down 4, or use the crazy switch up Don Tolliver tricks I showed you guys. Then I got a pattern to change up the kick pattern, then a pattern to change up the snare pattern. So I like, as long as I have this, I always have that kind of roadmap on how to where to go creatively with what I'm working on. And I tell you guys something. I wish that I liked composing inside of Ableton Live, because I would really like to use one DAW for everything. And I wish it was Ableton Live, bro. I really wish it was Ableton Live, bro. I really wish it was Ableton Live, but I hate making loops in Ableton Live. I don't know how like Al Huggin them working this shit. I mean, I know how they do it. They're recording instruments and snap and using the warp markers to to get fly with. So I get it. But with me, like in my workflow and using the piano roll a lot and shit like that, dude, like. But every time I come back into this DAW and I put the push on the desk, bro, I just I just can't. I just can't, bro. It's so good. It's so good, bro. Like I could just press Command F and then type in E minor and then just scroll down, and I'm gonna find some samples in E minor and just be able to start cooking up. You know what I mean? Like, it's too easy. You just bought a push? Good for you, man. I'm happy for you, my friend. Oh, and the way I got this set up is so nice. So I could just take this thing, go here. Where we at though? Where we at though? Yeah. We need one of these in here. Yeah, I don't think I like the choppies. I think this is a looper. I think this guy is a Braden looper. Ooh. Oh, you goofball. There's just a few things that you want in Studio One and then you'll be happy? Like what? No, I mean I updated Ableton Live, but I didn't try to run it native because all of my plugins aren't native, so I'm not even. And like you can do what I always thought you should be able to do with it, which is have the AU or have the plugins launch in Rosetta, but only the AUs will launch in Rosetta, which is terrible because if I if I have all my AUs, they crash Final Cut. So you know what? I don't care. I have an M1. The shit works in Rosetta, so I'm just using it, bro. Let's go. So now that I have that, this shit, this is why I love live. So I go here. And then, you know, because I want to have those sexy 9 patterns. So I just go here and I say, okay, the intro. So I say like right here, right? So I got this scene highlighted. I'm saying like, oh yeah, that's right. I need to have another pattern. So I need to program a crazy 808. So now I just go in and I could lock in on this and say, okay, I'm task oriented. Boom. I'm going to work on a crazy 808. So I just go and say, all right, how do I make this a crazy 808? Do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Watch it. I'm telling you, watch it. This is like the easiest way. You do this, you don't need 6 producers on the beat. Right? Right? 2-bar loop, push a button, and now I could just do a little bit of customization on this one. The way it's not as repetitive. Maybe I don't do this. Maybe I don't do this, right? Maybe here I go big. Right, so that's working with 3 unique patterns. Better sampler, more stability, getting a new computer, so that should help. Be able to attach X-Trem plugin. That's it, really. Studio One is very stable. I don't know what you guys do with Studio One that you guys say that it's not stable. CMP, I'm guessing I didn't end up with the big 6. Nah, I was never gonna get the big 6, bro. That's there's nowhere for me to put it in my studio, and like I would need a brand new desk. Like I would need that desk that's got the 6 racks over here and the 6 racks over here, and then I could like put it in the middle, and you know, everything that I want to do, I get done. I get done with the SSL 6. You know what I mean? Everything. So it's just like, you know, 3 bands. I took that money and put it into ads, bro. cmpkits.com. 30% off at cmpkits.com right now. Check out my ads on Instagram. Hit the buy now page. Get you something at 30% off at cmpkits.com. Hold up, this is Ableton 11. What DAW did you think it was? You thought it was Fruity Loops 30? And that's why I love this shit when it comes to making beats, because only in this environment can you have this much fun making all the patterns, triggering them with your hands. Like this just makes me so happy. Makes me so happy. All right, so shut up, AD. Like right here. That's all right. Right here we're doing just the see, so right here I'm gonna do right. I could double this loop. It happens so fast. It happens so fast. Then I could take this guy, give him a different color so that I know that for my busy snare pattern, here, boom. Already got 7 unique patterns. I've got 7 unique patterns, man. Right? So here for the new melody, all I got to do is find another spot in my loop. Ableton Live is just going to let me do that. Easy. Guy right here. Modulate. So, bro, this shit makes it so easy. So now I say, okay, I'm in E minor, right? Because we're modulating. No, out of here. Not yet. Not yet. We're going to do the hard part now. We're going to do the part that you need to call the 5th producer in. This part is what you need the 5th producer for. You need... No, you're going to need the 5th and 6th producer, right? Because you need a brand new loop, and then you got to tweak some hi-hats. So let's go E minor. What should we do? Let's see. If I go up 5, that's going to take me to B minor, right? So all I got to do, Command F, B minor. Does Decap teach you guys stuff like this? Watch this. Copy this guy. Get rid of all of those. Modulating here, right? Let me give this another color so I can see it on the old push. So it makes sense. All right. So I got this guy here, so we know what it is. Set this to warp. What is this? 73, so that's 146. All right. So let's go to this. Loop current region. You need 8 producers to do that shit. You need 8 producers to modulate like that. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you, boy. Watch. You said you're trying to figure out how to make beats in this window. Future sound beat. It takes a second, right? To understand what you're looking at here. But the way that I use it, so each one of these is a scene, right? And you can trigger them to play all of the patterns in this one line, right? So, and you just click it here. And then when you're ready to do the arrangement, you hit tab, press record, and then, trigger them. But you got to have this workflow. I'm gonna tell you like this. Do not fuck with this page unless you have a push. If you don't got no push, you don't need this. This is just gonna be a headache. There's no reason to even play with this. But if you have a push and you make beats over here, you're a coward. Okay? You are shook. You're shook to understand the greatness of this DAW. Because the Microsoft Excel side, this is where the business gets done. We should put a snare here. And that's it. Like, that's 9. That's 9 original patterns on the beat. And we did a key switch. Right? And we did a key switch. And we did a key switch. You need 7 producers and a hi-hat god and 2 loop makers to do that, right? Unless you got to push, then you can do it all by yourself. But yeah, so hit this shit real quick. That's not where you want that. That's not where we start. Who starts a song there? How? How'd that even happen? the arrange feature is cool. That's why I bought a push. Yes, I mean it's one of the main reasons to have one. To be honest, it's so much fun, man. You know, it just makes the process fun. Makes it so much fun. Where is that? Let's hit it with the fork. Damn, I should have warmed this up first. Oh well. Let's run this. Dude, I love the stereo spread on the damn SSL Fusion, bro. That shit is so dope. So freaking dope, son. What are you guys talking about before I hit record? Oh yes, I think I'm just one right now, but I'm going go work it out, but it's a headache for real. Yeah, you gotta get a push, bro. That arrange feature is nice. You snapped on this. Thank you, bro. CMP doesn't want to share his publishing. Oh my god, I need 90%. You gotta give me 90%. messing up. I'm messing up. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Let me take this off. Bring it back. So I had I don't know if you guys I don't know if so I sum all this shit, I send it out into a D box, and then it comes back in, and I record it through the Apollo, through the U76 amp. That's my favorite preamp for like recording a two bus. So so the whole signal goes out into a summing mixer. It goes into the SSL6, hits this SSL Fusion, gets massaged by the G comp, recorded back in, And now I can put the vicious mastering chain on it. Nice. What do we call this? Save live set. Yeah, Clipper is life. Live sets. Live sets. Let's call this I don't know. Like the way those kicks sound, huh? Drop this into 2022 beats. Render that out. Yeah, man. So I have this thing that I do for pretty much ever since I got the MPC Live, where um at some point during the year, like when I get bored with Studio One, or if I hate the way something sounds or something like that, bro, um, I'll go into using I'll go into using the MPC, right? Normally it's a combination of sound and just how easy and boring it is to produce with the mouse, right? And so I'll go on the MPC, struggle a little bit, make some starters, make some bangers, track some stuff out, do the syncing, do some content, do some tutorials, and then once I get like that bit of struggling out of my system, and then I remember how come I don't use the push again? Let me just put it up on my desk, and dude, I'll put this thing up on my desk and I'll run off like 40 beats. I'll run off 40 beats in a month, bro. I was using Slate Digital, but it doesn't run in Live or FL. That's interesting. That's crazy. Sucks for you, loser. Cause my shit works. Look at that. Slatage. Slatering. Effortless Beat says, "Bro, buy a Portico 2 master bus processor." I ain't fucking, bro. I don't think I'm buying any more hardware, bro. I got the stuff I like, and it's bueno. Like I don't. Dude, it works. I just loaded it, bro. Jayon, you be having problems that that nobody has, bro. CMP bringing back Tropicante. Oh my god, I got people that want it. You must be running Rosetta. Yeah, I'm running Rosetta, bro. Like why? Like why the fuck aren't you running Rosetta? The hell's wrong with you guys? Why aren't you running Rosetta? Why are you trying to run this stuff native? All the plugins aren't native yet. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Here's the shit I don't get, right? So the Apple M1 is powerful enough to run all of your fucked up software in Rosetta. Never had a problem with none of your Rosetta software. So why are you in a rush to change that? Like it works. What's the point? What are you gaining? Seriously, what are you gaining? You're gonna make a software that already worked flawlessly work more flawlessly? Like what? What's Rosetta? It's a it's the reason why every time somebody asks me about like, is my software compatible with the M1 chip? It makes me want to throw a fucking phone book at them because it's just like, dude, like you have not looked at anything about what you're trying to purchase. It's everything runs in Rosetta. Rosetta is a it's a translation app for for the ARM processor. This is a headache. I'm trying to adjust my Kali Audio LP8s with the UAD Volt 2 I just purchased, and the volume just isn't there. You bought a $200 interface with the hopes of powering 8-inch Kalis. That's what you did? That's what you did? You said, you know what? I'm going to get a $200 interface to power some 8-inch drivers. And I just don't understand why it's not getting loud. Eclipse, I love you, bro, but what were you thinking was going to happen? Like, if you get a $200 interface, What do you think they're gonna cheap out on? They're gonna cheap out on the components. You're not gonna get. You're definitely not getting gain. You're not getting gain, bro. I'll tell you that. If you want loudspeakers, you got to buy one of the heavy interfaces. Justin said he bought one of the interfaces you posted to troll with. It'd be like that Eclipse. I mean, just handle your business. Turn the interface all the way up. There's nothing you could do about that. Yo. Touchtone says I don't have an M1. I'm on the Hackintosh and it works. That's what's up. Touchtone, you're fucking crazy, bro. Like what? What? Like, man's got a $3,000 SSL console, right? He wants to buy a $2,500 mastering processor, but his computer. That's where I'm gonna save the money. That's where I'm gonna save the money. I can't. $2,500 to spend on a Mac. Ooh, it's too much. That's too much. That's crazy. Yeah. Justin spitting facts though. Justin says you should consider returning that interface that Volt interface and getting something older that can actually drive your Callies. That that is some good advice. That is some good advice. He needs a reamp box. Oh my god, y'all are going nuts. Y'all are going nuts right now. Let's see here. What is you spent 47,000 on you spent 4,700 on a Hackintosh? Yo. You could have spent $4,700 on a real Mac, dog. What are you doing? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I don't get that. Let's see here. So let's see. Let's help our friends. Volt 2. Oh, that's a Volley 2. Let's see, what are we talking about? Volt 2. Let's take a look at the budget. The Volt 2. So we did $189. You don't have $189? Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to Reverby. Whoo, this is gonna be rough. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so pedals and amplifiers, recording gear, audio interfaces. All right, let's set some parameters. Oh my god, bro. Take me back to 2010, dog. Jeez. Jeez, bro. Let's sync that MPC 4000 via USB. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. So is there not a price deal here? All right. Come on, let's see. Let's see if we can find them something crazy for cheap. Touchstone says, I wanted a beast, 120 gigs of RAM, 18 core, blah blah blah. Man, you don't need all that fucking hardware when you get like an actual Mac though. Like if you get an actual Mac, you don't need all that shit. That's all the stuff that PC people buy so they can keep up with a Mac that has 16 gigs of RAM. That's the deeper, darker criminal link. These are MIDI interfaces. Yo, I bet there's old Focusrites for $200 that could push those speakers. Why do you have to be Firewire? How come there's no price deal? I want to sort by price. I know I could do it on my phone. Ah, there we go. Filters. Let's see. All brands. Come on, condition. Where are the prices? Oh my god. Price, there we go. Minimum. You're on Facecam? Thank you. All right, boom. Let's look up some interfaces now. I bet you this boy. I bet you this piece of shit will push your Callies. Why don't they put the damn? Why don't they put the specs here? Let's see. Sweetwater.com. Ooh, ooh, and you get the plugins too. And this bitch got MIDI. How much gain are you giving me? Why won't this tell me how much gain you're giving me? But I bet you that this will push him. This guy right here. Man, this one's a deal, bro. It's like $100 off. Yeah. Yo, yo, Yeah, you guys should you should check out Tustone's content, bro. Yo, just about to feel hella crunchy once he watched them videos, bro. Watch the watch the watch his SSL6 video. He gonna be feeling crispity crunchy here in a second. He's gonna be like, oh man. Once bro hits you with the drone shot. Damn, that's a good deal on that SSL interface. I know about voltage levels, but they won't show that shit. Yeah, I know, bro. I know. Oh, bruh. Boom. Right here. 189. If you don't return that shit and buy this bitch right here, bro. Yeah, Crossbeats. That's what I was looking for first. I was looking for a Motu. And I couldn't find any Motus like at $200. Hold on. Yo, dude. 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 Dude, this shit right here? This shit right here for 225, bro. This right here is the deal of the century. This one right here. This interface right here. This is what I used to run before I got the Claret. And this shit is awesome. This is a badass interface. Expandable with 16 8-at channels. This shit right here, this shit right here is the deal of the century. Bro, for 225, bro, for 225, this is nuts. This is an amazing interface, and I used to power my my focal eights with these. That bitch got balls. I like from personal experience. I loved that interface. Um, and I only got rid of it because I didn't know how to use universal control. That's a bad boy. This is a bad boy right here. You got 4 outputs and 4 inputs. You got your mains right there. If you need an external clock, you got it. And this is nuts. I just the fact that they give you this, like this is crazy. This is this is crazy for this price. This shit'll take you so far. Go to Sweetwater. Let's check new. Bro, new for $200. You're not gonna you're not gonna power your monitors. I'm telling you, you could power your monitors and you could power your monitors and a sub off of this. Well, at that point, the sub would be powering your monitors, depending on the sub you got. But this right here, you can't. Like this shit goes. This is this is a $600 interface new, and somebody in Bright Pavilion, North Carolina, is down bad, and they're willing to give it up for $225. That shit is, bro. This shit's got DSP on it too. Like this, like this shit. You can record. You can record like with their like with the Presonus Fat channel and shit. This is a crazy interface.
Of how powerful this interface is, and
Marky Mark, what's good, bro?
also the basics of using universal control when connected to the Studio 192. Because keep in mind that depending on which interface you have selected, you could potentially have an entirely different GU console. I have all these channels over here that are in aqua blue. These are all of the available ADATs that I have for the system. And of course, the Studio 192 mobile has 2 banks of ADAT. Now, if I was to go ahead and...
That's such a... I can't believe they gave... Bro, my Paladin got 2 banks of ADAT.
And click the Show ADAT No option at less channels. Now, in my...
But like, you see this? Like, you can record on your mic channels using the gate, compressor, the equalizer, the limiter. It's got like reverb and delay you can have on there. This shit is like... This was dope.
Now, another thing you'll notice over here is that we have a pre-send versus a post-send. Let's talk about what this means for a second. Well, if we are making some adjustments and we wanted to monitor through the onboard DSP fat channel, but we don't want to commit to that, then we would want to make sure that this is set to pre-send. And this is the way that this is set up by default. So all of these channels by default.
Yeah, that's just dope. That was a great interface, but you guys got anything else before I will watch the rest of this basketball game? It was console before UAD console. Nah, UAD console came out way before that. They took that idea for UAD console. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna watch this basketball game. The Pelicans are making a game of it. I got to see what's going on. You guys keep it simple. Do not be basic. And we will see you on the next one.